Somehow I never liked you, John. Your ways were crude, your smile was pharisaical, your manners rude, although you prospered well in worldly things, were on nodding terms with czars and kings. I seemed to see the counter in the store, and all the shopman's manners learned before you donned the regal robes of finer folk, and in your brain the strong desire awoke to play the master where you were the man, plain Hodge, make blue the plebeian blood that ran to warm the grocer of those early days, who sanded sugar and who mixed his tea before he bowed in Sunday sanctity, with that lank Scotsman who your partner was. No, I never liked you, John, because you were a braggart and a Pharisee, held many slaves, yet prayed in liberty. Your sweated people toiled to make you great, swept out your store and labored long and late. Their pay was poor, their faces lined with care. Of all good things you took the lion's share in foreign lands. Half naked, they slaved on to gather gold to heap your plate upon. You'd swagger past, proud of their dull maize, in royal purple, eager for all praise. Oh, long ago, when you were yet a boy, you always took the other children's toy, and you were best at playing games of bluff, and no one liked you, John. Your ways were rough. I well remember Kate, who lived next door, her pretty eyes in snowy pinafore, which oft you would mud spatter and then callow. See the dirty girl, to one and all. A jealous and a greedy boy you were, and loved to make a spectacle of her, because she never liked you, John. Since you to her sweet garden forced your rough way through, she heard you beg, "Oh, Father, let me go, I'll teach her how to make the white flowers grow." And always since I hear the same old creed, there's none so good, so fine, so brave as I. Even when I roam to some far spot 'neath eastern skies, by world and time forgot, I see the dusky people creeping by, alarmed to hear your shout of I'll show them how, I'll tell them what, and why, I'll bid them how to live, and how to die. And when I, yawning, seek some further shore, some Indian strand, I hear your voice once more. I'll teach them how to work, and how to pray. Oh, John, you never think before your day. Rome was, Greece was, can one believe it true? Great Egypt died, and never heard of you. How all the small folk hated you, Big John, as you grew fat their little pastures on, and yet they quailed before you, or your state, and walked behind you all save little Kate. She could not tame you with her gentle ways, yet her right anger filled you with amaze when she would face you, giving jeer for jeer. You struck her down, and laughed to see her tear. With her great heart for pity, not too strong, yet not too weak for anger at the wrong you loved to plague her with, as when a child you gave her grief. If ere you thought she smiled, you snatched her flag, her gun, her little ships, the very bread that touched her parted lips, her pretty Chaney and her shining glass, and all that took your greedy eyes. Alas, then with rough promise sought to still her cry, and named her vixen to the passer-by. Ah, with what care a seething pot you'd brew a bitter draught, none mixed so well as you, you'd force her take, so, weakened, you might crush his ne'er contented. Yet how good am I. The little church wherein she loved to tell her pretty beads, I do remember well, how you would push her out, and there would stay, with eyes uplifted, as you seemed to pray. Ah! When, indeed, I most mistrusted you was when you prayed, whose trinity I knew: the scrubbing brush, the belly, and the purse, all badly served. Your cleanliness a curse of little minds, that have no thoughts to fill the chambers of their brain, and have no will but service to the petty things of life. Destroy sweet come with their incessant strife, cleaning, yet never clean, they ever seek to whiten sepulchres. Your table rude with all its ill-prepared and heavy food to feed your dull yet eager appetite. Your purse well filled can shrink or can expand to 30 silver pieces to your hand. Yet, John, I must admit in many ways you have your virtues not devoid of praise. Could I forget sweet Kate who lived next door, with sweetest eyes and snowy pinafore? She was a finer clay, a child of dreams, who knew the secret songs of hills and streams, made from the passions of the 4 great seas, light as the swaying of the storm-swept trees, sweet as the heather bell on moorland height. Blue were her eyes, her hair a clouding night. What knew you, Hodge, of such a one as this, whose lips were lewd and had a ploughman's kiss? She'll never love you, John, howe'er you smile a sour grimace that hides the deeper guile. Too often you her tender heart betrayed, for her at last to listen unafraid of some new plan to strike her down again, to break her heart in plotting for your gain. Yes, as I love her, John, I you despise and loathe you for the sorrow in her eyes. Ah, no, will never like you, Hodge. Your ways are crude, your smile is pharisaical, your manners rude.